This is a great question. Let me read it out. I've been deep in practice of self-love for years. I love me. But my own cup is overflowing with love for myself, and I want to share that with another. I trust the universe to bring in a lover when it makes sense, but human me is craving touch and real sex. Yes, I have a strong pleasure practice that is fulfilling, but I'm human. So my question is it possible to ever truly be fulfilled without another, when we are hardwired as humans for real sex? It's a great question. And I think there are multiple ways to look at this. If we look at the physical self, I think we're relational beings. We have evolved largely through relationship. When we look at how our nervous systems have evolved over time, we look at the latest edition of our nervous system being the ventral vagal nervous system, part of the parasympathetic branch, part of the autonomic nervous system, a couple 100 million years old. But as that's developed over time and has helped with social engagement, has helped us grow and evolve and feel safe in the presence of others and how they behave and act. And of course, if they're behaving and acting in unpleasant or unsafe ways, then it's giving us information with respect to, should we be here or should we leave? And so at some point we yearn for human touch, we yearn for human connection. So at a physical level, we're relational beings and we need each other. I don't mean in a needy, codependent way. I'm talking about in an interdependent way. We need each other to begin to thrive and grow. From maybe an esoteric or spiritual level, and depending on how you compartmentalize yourself and your life and the way you see the world, we don't necessarily need others. And I am you and you are me and I are we and we are I, and we're all interconnected and we're all one. And from that perspective, you may even say that the mind doesn't really know the difference between a well-imagined thought and an event happening in physical 3D reality, so to speak, in terms of the neurological connections taking place, the neurons firing, the electrochemical processes that are taking place in our bodies and in our brains. Here's my take on it. It's fantastic that your cup is overflowing. And I hear you that you trust the universe, you trust your life, you trust that you will meet someone when they are delivered to you. And my question is, what action are you taking? If you have an overflowing cup and you are in deep love with yourself, which it appears that you are, and you have an emotional and a physical and a sexual self-pleasure practice, is there something stopping you from being more proactive and more deliberate in searching for a lover, being in an intimate relationship? Is there a fear that perhaps if you are in an intimate relationship, you will lose yourself in that relationship? You will lose your connection to the self-love that you've cultivated over the period of time or times that you've been in solitude or on your own or in your own space. And so it's important for me to go underneath what's underneath, to explore what's underneath the maybe reluctance or the fact that it hasn't happened, that you're in that relationship, or perhaps there's more exploration to do with you, or perhaps you have some very rigid ideals or ideas of how a relationship needs to be, and so there's this almost this search for perfection, hence pulling you away from interrelating intimacy. There's some things to think about there. And for me to really answer your question, is it possible to ever truly be fulfilled without another? I think the answer is yes, and. Also, what's in your soul's path? What's in your soul signature for this lifetime? And forget about multiple lifetimes for a minute, just this life. Now, what are you here to experience? And we're here to experience a spectrum of sensation, right? We're here to be immersed in so many diverse experiences. But what are some of the core life lessons that you're here to grow with and grow through? And that may help direct you and orientate you towards not only the question that you're asking, but to also maintain an empowering self-love practice and also be in intimacy with another.